Tragic heroes exist as people of stories and inspiration. They are defined to the Greeks as people who have had a tragic flaw that is brought about by a tragedy caused by hubris, an extreme feeling of one's self-pride, or other flaw. Fate marries them together along with the audience feel of catharsis or connection to the character. But there is more important lesson to learn from people like Edwin John Smith, the captain of the Titanic, and Amelia Earhart, and from people of stories like Antigone. Fate is a sure thing. It doesn't just happen, and we decide our own fate by the decisions that we make. Antigone is a tragic hero from a Greek tragedy. She had a moral duty to bury her brother Polynesius. Even though it was going against Creon's law, and she knew the consequences, she did it anyway. As for his brother, that Polynesius, who returned from exile eager to wipe out an all-consuming fire his ancestral city and its native gods, keen to seize upon his family's blood and lead men into slavery. For him, the proclamation in the state declares he'll have no burial mound, no funeral rites, and no lament. He'll be left unburied, his body there for birds and dogs to eat, a clear reminder of his shameful fate. Antigone is a great example of how our actions and pride can affect our life and fate. But people like Antigone don't just exist in stories. Take Captain Edward John Smith, for example, the captain of the Titanic. He became commander of the White Star Fleet in 1904. After that, it became routine for Smith to command the Lion Louis ship. So Smith took the Titanic on her maiden voyage, which was no surprise. The trip was going faster than expected, because they wanted to make the ride fun and enjoyable. And that got them slightly off course. On the night of April 14th, after going to bed, Smith was woken up at 11:40 that night by the collision. He immediately ordered the boats to be ready. He was last seen on the bridge giving final orders to abandon ship. He appeared to have made no attempts to save himself. Another good example is Amelia Earhart. She was a great pilot and was trying to be the first woman to fly around the world. Many people were rooting her on. It was dangerous, and she knew that, but she went anyway. She set out from Western America, crossing many cities and continents. The journey was rough, long, and antagonizing, but that didn't make Amelia look back. She was nearing home. She crashed some 800 miles out from Leh. Many attempts were made to find her and her lost plane. Few things showed up from their frivolous search. So how does this link to today's society? We learn from how our actions affect life, others or ours. Tragic heroes are one of these teachable types of stories. They may be less than happy stories, but there is a great lesson to be taken from everything that happens in life. Fate, it happens to everyone, but it only comes about by their own decisions.